Okay, time now is 1:04 p.m. on September 8th. Um, yeah, slept really fucking late. I slept at 5:30 and I woke up naturally at around 12. I set the alarm at 12:35, but of course I woke up earlier than that. Yesterday was all right. Um, Not the most emotionally satisfying birthday ever, but I feel like I've already come to a point where this is routine, you know? Next year birthday, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna order food on Uber Eats. Maybe I'll have pizza, maybe I'll have tacos, maybe I'll have Japanese food. I don't know, something good. And then I'll watch a good film and then just call it a day. Do a YouTube stream, live stream, and call it a day. And yeah, it's not impressively exciting, but I think as long as there's a routine there, it's sort of, safe, and I deserve to be happy that way. But yeah, yesterday was, I guess I tried to be productive, but really it's difficult, because even without, to be fair, I did have a YouTube video to film and edit yesterday, but like, even so, even though it's a minor video, I'm still running out of time constantly. The call with Michelle went on for 2 hours, and honestly, I have zero interest in anything she's saying. Oh, god damn it. It's my hair dryer. I had zero interest in what she's saying. She talked about the Muppets, which I have zero interest in, and she went on and on and on and on and on. She talked about Disneyland and how Lauren wants to go to Disneyland with her, but she doesn't, because Lauren is like an unstable person mentally. So going to Disneyland with a mentally unstable person doesn't seem like a great idea. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, sure, yeah. And while she's calling me, and she's such a slow talker, and I think that's the worst thing. She's such a slow talker. So she can talk about anything, because I talk about random shit too. She can talk about anything, but she talks so slow. She's like, okay, so guess what else I'm thinking about? And then 2 minutes would pass by and I wouldn't say anything. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, what? I can't make you guess? And then 2 minutes would go by. And then she's like, okay, do you want me to reveal the answer? And then 2 minutes would go by. And she's like, okay, so, oh, but before I talk about that, let me talk about another thing. And then a few minutes will go by. So our entire conversation could have been condensed into 10 minutes. It was padded out into 2 hours long. So while I was having that call on my laptop, I was doing everything else. I edited my video essay a little bit. I actually went onto the Film 33 documentary and edited just a tiny bit. Most importantly, I edited an entire college update video while being on a call with her. And I didn't even use sound, because I'm so used to editing college updates that I don't even need to hear sound to know when to cut. I just put a bunch of clips together and then publish it. So I did that. I edited and exported it and uploaded an entire college update video while on a call with her. After the call, it was already 1:30. And I'm like, okay, screw it. So I did a bunch of stuff, and then I watched Late Spring. But by the time I started watching Late Spring, it was 3:30, and 1 hour into the film, I started dozing off. And I was kind of surprised, given how much sleep I had yesterday morning. But, no, I just started dozing off, and I just couldn't. I hate that this is a birthday film, and I have to watch it the next morning. But I have to. I fucking have to. I'm so sleepy. I wanted to keep going, but I just can't. So, here I am. So, right now I'm going to finish Late Spring, and then I'm going to go outside. There's also a couple things that I forgot to mention about last night. And one of the things is, I asked Cliff to color grade my short film. And Cliff at first was like, no. And I'm like, why? And he's like, oh, I don't want to touch post-production stuff anymore. I want to focus on cinematography. And I get it. And, you'd have to be really privileged where people offer you jobs and you can choose now. That's so privileged. I don't get to choose because I will literally take on any job because I'm desperate. But he's not desperate because he's already kind of successful in our age anyways. So I showed him some clips, some test videos from my short film, and he loved them because they look really interesting. And that's great. So now he said yes. So he's gonna color grade my short film. It's fine though. I think if this is like the last short film he'll ever color grade for me, it's fine because I feel like this short film also marks the end of an era, in a way. So yeah. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? There's a Chinese rock band called Omnipotent Youth Society, and they're performing in late October, which is fucking amazing, in LA. I reposted it on Instagram because I'm like fishing, you know, fishing for people to DM me and say, oh, I'm going too. Then at least I know who's going with me. Even though I haven't even really decided on whether I should go or not. Leslie liked the Instagram story, so that's that. Yeah. So it'll be crazy if she does go. I don't know. The art supply tools that I order on Amazon, they're coming on Wednesday, which is fucked because I need them tomorrow night for my art directing class. So I guess I'm just gonna go in raw with a regular ruler, with regular pencils and shit like that. I hope I don't get into trouble. But yeah. And then I don't know what's wrong with the email. So 2 weeks ago, the Korean TA for my art history class, I replied back to her email saying, hey, I'm back in LA now. Can I pick up my final exam? Vinegar Syndrome, I replied to them saying, okay, this is the address you should send the package to. The American Language Institute, I replied back to their email saying, yes, I accept the offer. I don't have any responses. I don't know what's going on. Maybe my email is going insane and replies don't work anymore. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow, which is business day. So maybe I'll get replies tomorrow, but yeah. What else? Oh yeah, this morning, checked my phone for notifications, not much, but Jing Chen DM me saying, yo, I'ma lock you in for another art set. Fuck yeah, baby! So yeah, I'm expecting something good coming out of that. It's great that I don't need to like beg for people to get me onto art sets. If I know enough people, eventually people will just recommend me to sets, and then, you know, the snowball slowly rolls and gets bigger and bigger. Speaking of snowballs, last night I tried to apply to APCA Writer's Room, and then I found out that it's not a horror thing. It's a supernatural comedy thing, and I don't write comedy. So I didn't apply. But I still am interested in being like a writer for APCA or something. So today, if I get to meet them and I get the chance to talk to them, like, I'm gonna ask, I think. So yeah, today I'm going to, right now I'm gonna finish Late Spring, I'm gonna film a review, and then I'm gonna bounce. I'll head to SCA Courtyard, and they'll offer free food, I believe. Just enough for me to have lunch, call it a lunch, and then I'll ask questions, and then I'll come back home and resume the rest of my day. I have a bunch of homework shit to do, actually. Reading stuff. I think I got an assignment now. What the hell? So, yeah. And, what else? Not much else. I do want to be in the e-board team of APCA. I do, but maybe it's too much. If I get a job and then the e-board in the APCA, and then also I read my list of goals for 2024 for the second semester, and I saw that one of the goals is writing for Spotlight, the journal, the magazine for USC. Is it too much? Is it too much work? I don't know. And, you know, if I get more friends and, you know, if I find an interesting girl, I would probably dedicate some time over there too. So this means my time management and my schedule will be drastically changed this semester. So yeah, okay, I'm 22 right now. Here's my list of goals. I said this in the live stream already, but it's good to reiterate them. A lot of the goals I set out for myself, I've actually already fulfilled. Like, infiltrate APCA. I mean, I just got onto their biggest film set probably. Another goal includes go to the gym, and like, yeah, I just went with Glenn, you know. So those goals are fulfilled already. Get a job, I just fulfilled that goal as well. That's crazy. 2 weeks in USC, 2 weeks, and I've already hit 3 goals. Okay, so I think building off of the whole gym thing, my goal for 22, not just this semester, is that I'm gonna go up to 145 pounds, but not fat, but muscle mass, 145. Second of all, I want more friends, and I know I've been achieving this in the last 2-3 years already, but let's bring myself up to 650 followers on Instagram first and foremost. But also I want Hong Konger and Taiwanese friends. So let's see if I can find a group there. Furthermore, I still haven't written anything for Spotlight, the journal, the magazine, so let's see if I can find some leeway there. I want to win awards. I know that's out of my control, but if I can win some awards with my short film, that'd be great. Also out of my control, but a goal nonetheless, Cannes Film Festival. I need to go. What's my final goal? I want to travel somewhere within 22. If it's New York or some Kansas place or Japan, I don't know. I just want to travel somewhere. Bring me somewhere. Get on a paid set. That's important. And yeah, I think I'm actually really empty of a person. Like, if you ask me what are my hobbies and like what do I think about life, what do I do, I'm like, I don't know. Oh, drawing. I need to be good at art style. Okay, you know what? I need to draw storyboards for 3 or 1 volume of a manga. If I can do that within 22, I would feel very great. Yeah, so I should write them down. I really should. I'm very empty, and all I think about is film as of now. I'm not in love with anyone. I don't have other hobbies, so my mind only works towards that direction. So yeah.
我咪食咗嘢先過嚟。
我食咗少少。
你有冇食過嘢？
呢啲係學費嚟嘅，我同你講。
係咯。
食咯。
有嘢有免費嘅食物。
Oh my god！ 又入咗一架。Bro, I'm trying to leave, but I try to find exit with that car. Like, would you be able? I think you can back up and do a 3-pointer there. I think it's easier because, hold on. Yeah, we were like, all the cars in here is trying to find the exit for. Hold on. Do you think you can back up a little bit? Thank you. Okay, okay, okay. We'll see.
又有多架車喺嗰度。你頭先嗰架車啊？
Are you sure we can go through there?
Holy shit!
完全個揸車咁耐冇試過咁嘅 situation。
唔係，但係我哋而家仲喺學校入邊喎。
唔係，但係而家呢條路就啱。呢條路唔係我原本入嚟嗰條路，但呢條路係可以走佬嘅，可以跟去 village 嗰條路。
What?
Never mind.
Alright, time now is 11:37 p.m. on, yeah. I don't have a lot to say. It is definitely a weird Sunday because I went to school, first of all, it was really hot still. It was still a heat wave. It wasn't as bad as 42 degrees, but it was still like 38. And I seem to have forgotten about that, so I wore a black shirt, long black pants, no umbrella, went out, and I was like, fuck, I should just go back home and change. But then the bus is coming and I don't want to miss that. If I miss that, I would have to wait 40-something more minutes for the bus. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll run. So I went to the bus and here we go. Took the bus, went to SCA, and today was a little bit bizarre, I'd say. It's a little bizarre. So before going into SCA, I hid in a shade, under a shade at the dentist school entrance, and I just waited there because I don't want to go in alone. What if I walk in and, like, I know I'm just socially anxious and stuff, but I'm at a very awkward point where I'm not that close with the APCA folk, nor am I that much of a stranger. So I'm in a midpoint where I can show up, but I can't exactly like band together with them, nor can I like, you know, just be there and not be suspicious. I don't know. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll go in. So I was waiting for Justin T and I was waiting for Rachel. Rachel said she's late, so I'm like, oh fine, I'll just go in myself. So I went to SCA and at first there's like no one there and they're still setting up the table, but like eventually like 40 people showed up, a bunch of freshmen. They look really young, nearly all Asians. They all went there. And at first I thought, oh my god, the food in question is just crafty. But no, they actually brought catering. They had kimchi fried rice, deep fried mandu, deep fried gyoza. There's Korean fried chicken. There's also lettuce salad. So I ate a lot of those and I had a good lunch. Justin T very soon showed up and then Rachel soon joined while me and Justin T were lining up for the food. So yeah, it was a little awkward at first because I just walked up and I'm like, fine, they won't stab me or anything. I'm just gonna say hi. So I walked up and I saw Jake and Jamie, the other girl, not Jamie 1, Jamie 2. I'm gonna call her Jamie 2. And they're both a little closer to me. Like I know them a little more. So I'm like, hey, and they're like, hey, you know, what's up? So I'm like talking to them. And then they're busy doing things. I'm not in the e-board. I'm not in the leadership team. But then I'm standing there as if I'm one, but I'm not one. And I'm just, okay, I'll just sit at the side. So I waited for a bit. And then North was there. And then I saw Xiaobang, who graduated half a year ago. I'm kind of surprised she's there. And I'm like, hey, Xiaobang. And then she talked and she's like, oh, you look different, you got a haircut, blah, 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 blah. And then eventually Justin T showed up, so we lined up for the food. And there's a bunch of people I know, yet I don't know how am I going to speak to them as a non-e-board member, but it's so awkward. So eventually more and more people showed up, like Cameron, this who is kind of fat with glasses. Eventually Ryan showed up, the co-president, big guy, and he was like, "Hello, Enoch," and walked past me. So I know them. He drove me to places, yet it feels such a bad situation to be in. I'm like, unless this is a film set, like I can only socialize on film sets. I can't socialize like this. Anyways, well, me, Rachel, so I introduced Rachel to Justin T. They see each other now. So yeah, very interesting. I'm like the Hong Konger who knows more, despite the fact that Rachel has been in USC for like 2 more semesters than me, or maybe 3 more semesters, but like I somehow know more people, and I'm more active, even though I'm the less active one usually. I'm doing it just for the sake of like war and success. Like if I could hide in my bedroom and be successful, I would. But unfortunately, reality doesn't work that way. It's not like I'm an extrovert or anything. I have to do this to achieve my dreams. I'm forced to do this. So, yeah, so we just stood up and talked. And I didn't like standing and eating, but I did it anyways. It was so hot. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, everyone's just like chill, but it was like 30-something degrees. So I ate a lot of food, and that's great. Free lunch. I will always take free lunch. Rachel has this mindset, and I really agree, and that is, since we're paying so much in USC tuition, we might as well exhaust USC of all of its resources. Like the gym, I'm getting a job here, which is huge, by the way, humongous. Joining clubs, I'm doing things. I'm gonna exhaust all of USC resources. So that's that. So yeah, so that's that. Eventually Justin T left because he needs to leave at around 4 p.m. So me and Rachel, we talked a little more, and then I'm like, okay, I gotta like talk to other people. So every time I go to these events, I always have like an ulterior motive, because I'm just that kind of guy, you know? Like, I feel like even back in community college, even back in the CMD days, every time I go somewhere, I always have some sort of ulterior motive, because that's how the game is played. So I saw Ryan, and he's busy, he's walking around, he went to the speaker, and he was like talking loudly, making announcements, welcome to the APCA, blah, 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 blah. And while he's walking past, I'm like, okay, this is a chance. I can't like do all the pleasantries, and I can't be all like, oh, how are you doing? So I went up to him and I was like, hey, out of curiosity, is all the e-board members' seats filled? And he's like, oh yeah, unfortunately, he didn't say unfortunately, and he's like, yeah, all the seats are filled. And I'm like, oh, because I was interested in being in the writing team. And he thought I was talking about the writer's room, and I'm like, oh no, but like last semester I checked it, there's a writing team. And I know he's not pissed. I guess he's a little stressed because he's organizing an event with so many people as the president of one of the biggest clubs of USC, I guess. Or at least, from what I can tell, a big club. So he's like, oh yeah, Daisy, who is this Korean-American girl who writes comedy, is now the writing head. I believe she was also the writing head last year, so I don't know. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, it's okay. And then he just left. And I'm just like, okay, well, again, it's not like that awkward of an interaction, but like, it just feels off. So I didn't really want to, I am curious and I do want to go into the info session, which is held in like this mini theater that I've been to. But at the same time, Rachel was like, "Oh, don't go in. It's just a bunch of the same shit." And then Jamie too, she's like, "Oh, go in, like," and I'm like, I think it's just more of the same stuff. And she's like, "No, it's, you want to find out what happens? You want to find out about the fundraiser? Go in." And I'm like, okay. So I and Rachel, we went in for 10 minutes. And then I realized, yeah, this is the same shit, and it's just a bunch of freshmen. I'm gonna leave. So I typed on my phone, on my WhatsApp, I said, "Leave or not?" And then Rachel nodded. And then she left, and I followed after her. It's so... ugh. Rachel's really embarrassed. I think I'm so fine. But yeah, that's it. We left. Rachel went to the bathroom, and then I was going to take the bus, but I had to wait 40-something minutes for the next bus to come. Rachel's like, "I can just drive you home." So that's great. The perks of having a friend who drives. So we went into a parking structure, and Rachel's driving, and holy shit, there's no exit. We kept going around and around in this parking structure. There's one exit, and that's blocked. We found another exit, and that's also blocked. And then we went to this weird corner place that I've never been to. It's almost like a weird dystopian corner of the campus. And then it's like some other cars were there, and they're also lost. And then like at some point 4 cars couldn't find the exit. It was a disaster. So eventually we found the exit, but we had to go outside almost, but go back into the school, and then somehow turn back into the main road of the school, and then leave at the McClintock exit. So drove me home. That's it. End of story. For the rest of the day, still not that productive in my opinion. I'm just not that motivated to do anything. And I hate that feeling, because I want to be productive. I want to get shit done. So yeah, thank God the dinner wasn't too heavy. I ran out of rice. I need to go to Ralph's more. I also ordered food on Wii to order rice. Just submitted my short film to another film festival. I actually spent a considerable amount of time looking at Liam's interview today, and I realized that he was about to talk about Jonathan, and Tova cut him off and was like, no, we gotta move on. I don't know how to feel about that. I wish we would have heard more from Liam. But either way, the documentary, the joint cut of the documentary, won't include a part where Jonathan and Liam are beefing with each other anyways, even though I'd very much love to include that in my cut of the doc. But yeah, I'm gonna finish like 3 more films right now, and then tomorrow will be a big day because I have 3 classes again. I've thought of bringing lunch, but I don't know. If I can wake up early and make myself like a sandwich, like a mozzarella cheese salami sandwich, that's great. But I don't want to wake up early. The sandwich is going to get cold, so that's like to be expected. I don't know. So I think I'm just going to go with a Trader Joe's wrap tomorrow. I'm just going to go with a Trader Joe's wrap. And then I'll drink water. And then at around 3 p.m. there's going to be free boba at SCA. So both me and Rachel are going to take advantage of that. And then that's great. And then tomorrow night there's going to be the art directing class again. And that's it. I don't have much else to add. Yeah, so I can't join the APCAE board. It's too late. There's still a chance that maybe next year as a senior I would be able to join. But honestly, at that point, why even have fun with club stuff. Like, might as well do, like, find internships and whatnot. But it's okay. The thing is, like, if HKSA eBoard is looking for people and HKSA seems fine, I might consider doing that. Besides, HKSA is much less workload. So I might do HKSA. Besides, like, HKSA is my original goal anyways. My original idea was in community college, I'm going to do film club related stuff. And then in college, I'm going to join HKSA and make a difference. I can still be involved with APCA on, like, sets and whatnot, but, yeah. So, that's the story. Excited for HKSA. So, Justin T is going to bring, like, 2-3 more Hong Kongers, and then me and Rachel will all go simultaneously. So if it's pure cringe, at least we can band together and survive, you know. Yeah. That's pretty much just it. Yeah, that's pretty much just it. I feel like I have something to say, but I may not. I emailed the Korean TA from art history class. She finally responded saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that email. Let's meet Tuesday." And I'm like, "How about at noon?" And she's like, "Perfect." So we're meeting her on Tuesday noon. It feels bad because I'm not that nagging of a person. I'm just I just kind of want my final exam back. It's just, now I seem annoying because I keep bugging her about it. But who knows. And then, emailed Vinegar Syndrome again, but no response. Hopefully tomorrow they'll respond back. And then, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully I get that Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray. Really, really important. Yeah, not much else. I feel like part of the reason why Ken talking about sex and Luis rubbing Cass's feet made me feel a little is because I'm sort of in the Virgin mind space because I'm writing the Virgin. I feel like my scripts always subtly affect the way I think, in ways that I do not expect. So I really can't dig further down into this rabbit hole of anger, you know. I really need to move on, so I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna focus on some other script. Yeah. I'm also gonna try to go early tomorrow again because I don't want to be late, and like so many people are also in 200. I want to be there early and eat my breakfast there. Okay. The AC is so strong, holy shit. So right now it is 8:48 a.m. on September 9th. I slept from 5 a.m. to 8:45, and I didn't fall asleep immediately too. So less than 4 hours. Fuck me. I'm back on my sleep deprivation thing again. Wow, that really sucks. I'm really sleepy. I'm really sleepy. I might go for a re-sleep. After I get home, Oh, but I'm drinking milk tea, right? Well, I guess I'm not doing a re-sleep. Shut up. Why is AC so loud? Last night was a bit productive though. I tried to do a bit of everything, so I ended up doing a bit of everything. I edited a bit of videos. I started making my Indiegogo campaign for a little bit. I actually finished 3 films yesterday, which is fucking insane. And then yeah, I did lots of shit. I even drew. There we go. I drew last night, just for a bit. So yeah, I did a little bit of everything, but the cost is that I sleep very late. So hopefully today I don't need to sleep this late, because this is hellish. Yeah, this is hellish. This is I actually haven't even done the reading for my religion class. I think I'm just gonna read it in the middle of my film class. That's the plan. Yeah. I'm also gonna wear shorts today. If it's still like 30 something degrees, I'm actually probably gonna wear shorts. And then I'll take a shower after I come back home. Hopefully Vinegar Syndrome responds to me today. Yeah, 3 classes. Today it's 10 a.m. CTCS 200. Yeah. Hopefully I don't need to wake up that early tomorrow, but I still do have to wake up early because of Tova's editing thing. Pain. This is why, okay, tonight 3 a.m. I have to go to bed at 3 a.m. Yeah. Tonight 3 a.m. Yeah. I low-key want to go back to sleep, but I'm scared I'm gonna enter one of those. I'm just going back to sleep for 5 minutes, and those 5 minutes turn into a whole hour. I'm really scared.
He films himself, but his comics are being adapted to film. And that's part of the evidence we might have that there was some influence, some awareness of comic strips.
Chamber, the three-prong chamber, which is metaphor for that is the edge of it. And you can see how this is done in Maya.
Alright, time now is 10:28 p.m. I'm back like a snack. Yeah, so today is Monday, which is basically torture. Because I have 3 classes. I woke up with extreme sleep deprivation again. It's the 3rd week and I still haven't solved this problem. But I feel like I was close to solving this though. Like at some point last week, I was actually able to sleep at 3 or 2:30 or something. So tonight my goal is 3. That's my goal tonight. 3 and then I'll wake up at around 10. Yeah, 3 and then I wake up around 10. So that's 7 hours. Not bad. But yeah, after I woke up, I quickly changed. I went back to sleep for 5 more minutes, and I was scared that I would oversleep again. So I set another alarm, and thank God that alarm rang. So it's good. I know myself now. I didn't even have breakfast. I quickly changed my clothes and left. And then I soon arrived at the Norris Theater, and I was super early. I was like half an hour early, so I had time to sit down and eat my cream bun from H Mart, and then I had the red bean daifuku mochi, which is not as delicious as I had remembered. But anyways, that's 550 calories altogether, so I ain't complaining. And I was waiting for Matt to show up, but he never really did. So I was like, oh my god, is he like, did he take a leave or something? So I was like, screw it. So I sat at the very front of the Norris Theater, and turns out Matt showed up. He's just late. He's just like 1 minute late or something. But he sat right next to me, and he's like, hey, what's up? How's your weekend? And I'm like, not much. You? And he's like, same old, same old. And then we had the class. And then once again, throughout the entire class, while we're both listening to the lecture, at the same time, he's doing other stuff. He's going to Letterboxd and looking at other movies. and going to movie Twitter to look at movie news and researching horror films, giallo films, Hong Kong horror, J-horror, texting on a group chat. Meanwhile, I had to do the reading for my religion class, so I was mainly going through that reading. And it's a very dense and confusing text. It really is. And I feel like by reading it in the middle of a lecture while sitting on the second row at the most front, it's even more confusing. But I still powered through it. And then I started doing my own things. I looked at manga on my laptop while being in class. It's so funny. There was a break, and I took out my light novel to read it, which is cool. I look so cool with the book, even though this is just like a silly little anime cat girl light novel. But I look so cool. I feel like such an intellectual holding that book. And then Matt found some other friends in that class, and Matt was talking to them, and okay. And then the second half of the class happened, and that's it. And then we left, and we ended a little early. Surprisingly, we ended a little early, like maybe 10 minutes early. So at around 12:45 we left, and that's great, because now I have extra time to have lunch. So I and Matt, we left together, and we talked a little more. And even though Matt is like a couple years older than me, and I am convinced that he is a film aficionado, but also he reads a lot, he knows a lot about philosophy, and he knows a lot about history, and etc, etc, etc. He still has the humor of a child, because at some point the professor was like, back shots. Like, shot at the front, shots at the side, shot at the back, back shots. And Matt turned to me and said, back shots. And then we went to Trader Joe's together because he needs to get some groceries. I need to get a wrap. $4.99, so $5 for a pesto chicken wrap. At Trader Joe's, that's my lunch. And it seems like a small lunch, but that's 670 calories, dude. I ain't complaining. That's a lot for lunch, in my opinion. Usually my lunch is, for me, it's like 500 calories for breakfast, 500 for lunch, 900 for dinner, and 100 for other stuff, like desserts or whatever. That's usually my formula. That adds up to about 2,000. That's not adding up. I don't know, 600 for lunch maybe. But you know what? Yeah, 670 calories for lunch. That's good. And then in Trader Joe's, I saw Laysa, but I think it was her, but again, part of me is scared that it's not her. So I went up to her and said, hey, or them, sorry. I went into them and I was like, hey, and they were listening to music, and I'm like, never mind, I'm not gonna do this. So I left. And then I and Matt continued talking. We talked about like productions, like film sets. Oh, we saw Colin. So Colin is like a new unlocked character in this whole fiasco. And I was like, oh, I met Colin. And Matt was like, on set, right? And I'm like, no, actually he called in sick, but I met him on another discussion section. And then I was like, oh, apparently he's here too, right now. And Matt's like, there he is. And I'm like, oh. So, yeah. So another thing is, for CTCS 191 discussion section, we need to pick groups. And groups of 3. And I don't know if it's like a group project, or is it just like a group for the sake of being in a group. But I saw Colin's name, and I'm like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna put down my name there. I thought about it, I thought, okay, what if it's too obvious? Like, I know I want to be friends with him, because he seems like an interesting fellow, but maybe I should do it in a more subtle way. But I'm like, okay, you know what, if I don't do this, then it's just a huge missed opportunity. So, I put down my name beside him. Hopefully we get to talk more, and by the time it comes to that week where we have to do a group project, it's justified. It doesn't feel like a forced thing or whatsoever. But yeah, Matt seems really friendly to me, which is, I know I'm like nitpicking things, but Matt has never liked a single one of my reviews on Letterboxd, nor my Instagram posts. He's only liked one of my stories. Whereas he likes a lot of John L's and Letterboxd reviews, and I get it. John L's a great film critic and writer, and John L also likes a lot of Matt's reviews, but they never like my reviews. I guess I'm just not as good of a writer. Maybe I'm overthinking. I'm definitely overthinking, but like, I don't know. I just want to be good at this shit. I just want to be real good at this. I don't know how, but I just want to be real good at this. I think Matt just like effortlessly, he's just so effortlessly good at writing film reviews and film criticism. Like the words he uses, it's just like way beyond my league. And I'm already pretty fucking good. Like, I've been doing film criticism for like 8 years now, and my Letterboxd reviews are way fancier than it was a year ago, but it's still not good enough. Anyways, I'm overthinking things. I mentioned Matt being all nice to me and chatting with me because at the end of the day, also the fact that he sat next to me, at the end of the day, nobody's really looking down on me. As in, nobody really hates me. But a small part of my brain, I guess a remnant of my old mentality, still has that little delusion that, oh, no one likes you. So, yeah. Furthermore, after buying the wrap, I wanted to go to SCA to sit down and eat. I wanted to go to 3rd floor, find a quiet spot on the couch and eat, but then I thought maybe that's stupid. So I went into SCA and I'm like, fuck it. So I went to the cafeteria. And oh my god, there's so many people. But at last I found a spot inside and I had my wrap and I had difficulty opening the pack of sauce. I tried to use methods. I tried to use my student ID card to poke holes in it, and I thought that's a terrible idea. I tried to use sharp objects. At the end, I'm like, fuck it, I'll just pull it off very violently. So I did it, and the pesto sauce splurged all over my shirt and my phone. Not really splurged, more like a splatter, but still, it ruined my shirt. I was wearing white. I was also wearing shorts today, which is a rare occasion. Usually if I wear shorts, it's usually because I'm going to the gym. God damn my voice right now. So, yeah. So, I don't know. After eating the wrap, I still have like half an hour to spare because I finished that wrap in like 10 minutes. My lunch finished in 10. So there's another spot near that place, the admission center, I believe. Very fancy, lots of couches, and a bunch of people are already sitting there quietly, resting, looking at their phones, whatever. So I sat down and I took out my light novel and I continued reading it. It's a good habit, and also I did some, I think that's it. Yeah. So I went to religion class and I was right on time, DMC. And today only 4 people showed up. No, 5 people showed up, including me. And then once again, the class is basically, the professor is sitting down and talking about a book chapter and then just yapping and yapping and yapping for 1.5 hours. Like, this is the most bare bones structure of a class ever. To a point where I'm beginning to think that she doesn't even care about teaching. Because, like, when I took cultural anthropology back in my community college, even though there was only like 2 lectures on religion, those 2 lectures are like so dense and the professor has so much to say. Okay, so this is religion, animism, this is animatism, this is theism. This is monotheism, this is polytheism, how they correlate with different sustenances in different societies. and how religions evolve. And then, I was hoping that we would learn something like that, but more in depth. But no, we're going over this book. Now, this is Intro to Religion, so we're expecting the people of this class to not have a single idea what religion is outside of basic conceptions. So why are we suddenly forced to read this book, which is A, very dense, B, not great for beginners because it's making all these crazy, weird connections between religions and technology and binge watching TV shows and ISIS using Twitter and fundamentalism and our social lives. And it's just like, I feel like, as I know a bit about religion, but even for me, I have to do a lot of mental gymnastics in order to remotely get it. But the main point is that even after getting it, I feel like I don't have to get it, because I feel like reading the book is pretty pointless. It's not for knowledge. I feel like this book is like for fun. And this class feels like a nothing class. It's not tense, it's just incredibly boring. So I hope it changes. I really do. I hope the guest features changes. At least the Jesus Christ professor, she's fantastic because she actually has PowerPoint presentations. She actually does movie screenings. She does little games. Taking her class was like taking a fun... It almost throws me back to primary school because it's just like fun and games, but we actually learn a lot of deep shit. It's like, come on. So anyways, I spoke up like twice. But overall it was a very unengaging conversation. Left, and at 3 p.m., 3:30, I walked all the way back to SCA because of the free boba. So, that did not happen. Also, I ran into a couple people, like, as I was walking from Trader Joe's to... Well, I and Matt also went to Target for a little bit, and Matt was looking for vinegar. And I was like, oh, you can't find it here, it's probably Ralph's. I digress. As I was walking from Trader Joe's to the cafeteria, I ran into Carter from art history class, and he's such a unsocial person. He's like, oh, hi. And I think he doesn't recognize me, and I'm like, oh, I'm Enoch from the art history class. And he's like, oh, right. And I'm like, yeah, I just got out of class. And he's like, yeah, me too. And then he just walked away. It was very awkward, but I sort of let it slide. Like, if we're both awkward people and I'm less awkward, that I shouldn't feel bad about it. And then I ran into Diana from Iran. Diana from Iran, who we worked together in Locke for like a couple days. She recognized me first. She waved hi, and I'm like, hi. So I walked past her. Anyways, I went to the grass lawn between SCI and SCB, and there's like no one there. And I'm like, what? So I checked the email, and I checked the website. Turns out the date and time is postponed. So eventually they'll organize a boba thing. Hopefully it doesn't clash with any of my classes, but unfortunately it's not here. So I'm like, fuck it. So I walked to the bus stop and waited for the bus. Except it's 39 fucking degrees. And at first I'm like, fine, I can take it. So I have to wait 20 something minutes for the bus. 27, I think. I waited and waited and waited, and I was drowning in sweat. I'm like, at some point I was like, fuck it, I can't do it. So I walked all the way back to SCB and went to one of the couches and just took a seat and waited for like 4 minutes. And then went back out again, and then I took the bus. And then I returned home. So that's first half of the day. I don't know why, but like I'm getting into that war mentality again. It's almost like I'm revisiting, I'm almost like reliving 2016 2018 era me. But it's not as bad, because 2017, 2018, I feel like I'm at the bottom of the barrel, and I have to fight my way just to get my close friends' attention. I have to fight my way just to have a voice and have a presence in my class. I was literally at the very bottom of the barrel. I had no friends, and I was sad, and I wanted to die constantly. Right now, the situation is different. I have friends, I just got a job, I have a standing, okay? I have things to lose now. But once again, I'm on that war mentality, because I realize that A, the competition is really high. I see a lot of people around me being successful, and I want to be just as successful as them, if not more. So there's the competition mindset. It's creeping back. B, I think there are still things I want to have. Like, of course, there's the romantic relationship. I want to have that. But also, I want to be... It's not just that. I think to be general, I think I want to be a confident, accomplished man. And there are people out there like Cliff, who's younger than me, but is more confident and more accomplished. Sure, he hasn't won awards or anything, but like, he's there, but I feel like I'm not there. I feel like I'm not it yet. And I don't know. I have that mentality now. Again, like every day is war. Me finding a job, me busting my ass off, applying to jobs and socializing, networking, keep making films. It's just, yeah. So yeah. So I returned home, rested a bit, and I had the decision whether I want to have dinner before going to my art directing class or after. And I thought I should have it before because I'm hungry now. So I had pasta and chicken thighs. Very simple. And I knocked over my bottle of oil. My bottle of canola oil. Thankfully, Adipta, the guy from Bangladesh, lent me his towel, and I wiped off the oil. I didn't lose a whole bottle. Honestly, I only lost like 1/7, or maybe even 1/8, because I dropped it on the ground and I immediately picked it back up. Reflexes. But that's nice. Another thing is, my Wii order has arrived, and I was low-key scared that somebody might steal it, but thankfully the gate is closed, and the food delivery guy delivered the food at the right door. I put in the group chat, hey, my food's here, and Diego was like, oh, I'm not at home right now. So I'm like, okay, that's fine, I'm coming back. As I was coming back, and I opened the door, I saw Minji, the Korean woman, and she was on her phone about to text me. And she's like, oh, you're here. And I'm like, okay. And I was like dying from heat and exhaustion. But like, she's like, oh, do you need help carrying the stuff? Because one of the boxes is really heavy. And I'm like, nah, I can do it myself. And she's like, nah, I can help. So she helped me carry the light bags, and I carried the heavy box. But that's great. And then I told her, oh, by the way, your package, it was me. I helped you bring it in. So, reciprocal. So, in one breath, I think having roommates is a nuisance. But in another breath, I think they do help out. So like, having good versus bad roommates makes such a huge difference. Like, back in Sawtell, right? When we had that weird couple, like, being around them felt uncomfortable. And then, yeah. Of course, there's a crazy horny guy from my last place. But this is good. And then a little bit later, I saw the Chinese guy too. And he's nice too. So everyone's doing their own thing. And that's really good. I also saw Quentin. I called a lift, free lift, to my art directing class, and Quentin came out because he was gonna go for a jog. And I almost walked into a substantially cylindrical shit covered in flies. And as I walk closer, the flies disperse, and it's just like this disgusting cloud of flies, giant flies with shiny, greenish, I don't know what's the word for it, but like colorful, reflective shells. So disgusting. And we talked a little bit. Art directing class, I went in, I was late for like 4 minutes, but who cares? Franklin was like a minute later than me. The professor immediately recognized me. She's like, Enoch, right? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I remember. So I sat down, and the small Chinese girl who asked for my Instagram, she's not here anymore. She dropped the class, probably. But it's, who cares? And then the Korean American girl wasn't here. Or at least I thought so. Until during break, she showed up. Turns out she's at the front. But yeah, I am Franklin. I thought Franklin dropped the class too, but Franklin showed up. So we went through the class, and it's mostly lecture. I thought I would fall asleep. I did not. Actually, for a moment I almost did, but it was such a slight moment that it didn't really matter. So mostly it's lectures. We're watching behind the scenes featurettes and studio binder videos about production design of Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Barbie. And they're cool, but like, we're watching videos. I mean, I want to do something. So near the end of the class, after a break, so during break, the Korean American girl, whose name is Joyce, by the way, she and Franklin went to CVS to buy food. And I followed along. And I was like awkwardly third wheeling, but also not really. Like, I was also like engaging a little bit, maybe. I was chill, and I know they're chill, so it's okay. We went back to class, and then for the rest of the class, we had to do the architecture scale. And the thing is, I don't have my scale yet. It's not delivered yet. But thankfully, Maisie, the TA, was able to lend me her scale, her architecture scale. It's like a ruler with 3 sides. Actually, more like 6 sides. Actually, more like 12 sides, if you think about it. Because each side can be read left to right or right to left. So there are 12 sides to this freaking scale. And, yeah. And then we were given a couple worksheets, like math worksheets, where we had to use a scale to make some measurements. That's it. And at first I was extremely confused. I don't know what the numbers are, I don't know what they mean. So I raised my hands, and Maisie, the TA, came over and helped me out, and also Franklin. And then suddenly it clicked, and then suddenly I'm very sure of what I'm doing. And I finished the whole 2 worksheets very fast, even though I got a couple answers wrong. But yeah, so that's cool. And then as it turns out, next 2 Mondays it'll be over Zoom, so saves me a lot of time. But also, I enjoy coming to this campus slightly, because it makes me feel like a film production student, you know? Like, I saw people taking C-stands out of a big car at that car parking lot. Like, Jesus, the swag, you know? So, yeah. But, yeah, we left, and then I called a free lift. Franklin called a free lift. I also talked to the professor a little bit. She saw me making measurements, and she's like, oh, so you're cooking, right? And I'm like, yeah. Anyways, me, Franklin, Joyce, we all called free lifts. As it turns out, me and Joyce, we have the same lift. So we took the same car, and I talked to her a little bit, basic questions. And then that's it. And then now I'm here. Simple day, nothing day. Really excited for tomorrow. Excited to edit with Tova. I'm also getting back my final exam at noon at Tabor Hall, so I need to go to USC a little early. And then I'm debating whether I should just have lunch outside with Tova or go home and have lunch and then come back out. That would be a bit of a time crunch. I don't know. We can discuss that tomorrow. If Tova can meet again this Thursday, then I'd rather go home and have lunch. We can end the editing session a little early and I can go home. Or I don't know. It depends. I did some calculations. So this ITA job, if I do 4 hours per week, and it's $17.6 per hours, 4 hours per week, 16 weeks per semester, 4 semesters. Okay, maybe not 16 weeks because 3 weeks have passed already, but like, I'm gonna add more hours anyways. I can gain up to $4,400 US, which is not a lot because that's like about 12% of one semester's fee. So that's about 3% of 2 years' tuition's fees, not counting the fact that tuition fee is rising. But that's better than nothing. $4,000? Right now my Blu-ray collection is $2,000 something, which is fucking insane, but you know, it's good. It covered the Blu-rays, but it's also not a lot. $4,000, come to think of it, you know, one big budget short film plus more Blu-rays and then it's all gone. But at least it covers some money. It's better than nothing. Plus, if I do get some scholarships, I mean, bring it on. So yeah, that's it. Excited to see Millennium Actress tomorrow night as well. It's gonna be a blast. I might go to Ralph's on Thursday if I'm not seeing Tova. If I am seeing Tova, then I'll go on Friday. But I have some concerns. Or I could go on Wednesday. That's true. Anyways. I'm gonna make myself a quick salad, which is supposed to be a part of my dinner. And then I'll have some ice cream, some jelly, and then I'll enjoy the rest of the day. I need to do the laundry again, because they're all sweaty. They're either sweaty or full of weed, or full of pesto sauce. But yeah, I also drew a lot in art directing class, and I think I improved a lot. Not gonna lie, I was able to crank out a Loomis head pretty effortlessly, even though it's still like either this or this or this or neutral face, but the face shape is looking better and better, and also facial expressions. I'm trying it. Honestly, not as difficult as I thought it would be. Not as difficult. I'm also trying anatomy, which I'm having a good start. So yeah, I'm definitely going places with my drawing. So I'm drawing, I'm reading, getting a job. I'm really living up to my goals now. I really am. It's like 2:46 a.m. right now, and oh my god, I found another cockroach. It's not here. It was right here. I heard some noise, and I'm like, okay, definitely a cockroach. It is a cockroach. It escaped under the cabinet, and then went into the bed. great. One can play this game. Ah, fuck. Gotta be serious. I'm hearing so much noise. It's under my bed. It's definitely under my bed. Oh my god, it's so cold. Oh my god. Okay. Jesus Christ. Time now is 10:47 a.m. on September 10th. It's Cedric's birthday. Shout out to Cedric. I slept from 4 a.m. to 10:45. So less than 7 hours, but it's not that bad, but I just need more sleep. I desperately need to sleep more. Yeah. Yeah, but yesterday was kind of productive, I guess. I did a lot of stuff. Yeah, if it weren't for the fucking cockroach, I would have slept earlier. But I have no idea where the cockroach is now. I didn't kill it. It's gone. It's somewhere under the bed. I tried to take stuff out from under the bed, but it's not even here. So yeah, I guess one day the cockroach will show itself. Or maybe it's gone. I don't know. Holy shit, the AC. It's so ridiculously cold. I really want to sleep. I really want to sleep. Maybe Thursday. If Tova doesn't want to edit with me on Thursday, then Thursday is a sleepy day for me. Oh my god. Yeah, so today I'm going to go to Taper Hall to pick up exam, and then I'm going to edit Film 33 doc with Tova. Tonight, okay, I think I'm going to go back home to have a very quick lunch. Dumplings, onions and eggs, omelet, and then I'm going to yeah, and then I'm going to go to class to watch Millennium Actress, and hopefully there's still a bit of time left for me to visit the APCA general meeting, which is actually tonight from 8 to 10, but obviously my class goes from 6 to 10, so hopefully I get off early so that I can visit APCA club meeting. Yeah. And then tomorrow, I can actually wake up a little late tomorrow, just a wee bit, because the TV class is canceled, or maybe it's over Zoom. Hopefully it's not over Zoom, I don't know, but I think it's canceled. But tomorrow night is the HKSA general meeting, which is intriguing, right? So I think I'm gonna do that. Yeah. Oh my god, the AC is so cold. What the fuck? I didn't mention this, but the Vinegar Syndrome finally responded back saying yes, we'll resend it, the package. So I'm really happy, but I still haven't received any news from American Language Institute, from ALI. I still haven't. I accepted the offer. I sent them my availability thing. I still haven't heard back, so hopefully I do hear back from them. Yeah. That's it. Also want to mention that the heat wave is over. Yeah, so I don't have to die in the heat now, so thank God. I finally saw Late Spring, by the way.
Very influential. He also has very, very clear influences. Excuse me, could you please shut up? Thank you. It's just like, it's enormously distracting. Y'all have no idea how bad it is. Thank you.
Okay, time now is 12:48. My voice is so soft. Oh my god. I'm also really thirsty, and I want to go downstairs and drink some water, but I'm too lazy. I just spent half an hour scrolling through Instagram. So I'm just gonna quickly do this, and then we'll move on. Yeah, so today comes in two halves. Fuck me. I'm gonna grab some water. Hold on. Oh my god, okay. Much better. So today comes in two halves. The first half is editing the documentary with Tova. The second half is the non-Disney animation class CTPR 256. 456. No, not, fuck me, CTCS 469. So, oh my god, I'm tired. What the heck? So this morning, despite having slept for 6 hours and maybe 6.5 hours, it was still very tiring. And I planned to meet the Korean TA at 12 at noon, and then Tova at around 12:15. And of course, because the bus is not quite on time, and also usually the bus arrives at around 50 something minutes, so like 150 something, 250 something, so I wouldn't make it to campus on time anyways. But thankfully, everyone's freaking late. So Tova texted me saying, oh, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna arrive at around 1 p.m. And I'm like, okay. And then the TA emailed me saying, hey, I'm sorry, I'm super sorry, but I'm gonna be late. How about 12:20? And I'm like, okay. And she emailed me at 11:58. So I arrived at campus at around 12:15, and I just stayed under the shade at DMC for a little bit, and then I'm like, oh, time's up, so I went to Taper Hall, 3rd floor art history office. I've been to Taper Hall 3rd floor before, but I didn't know that They're like a string of rooms, like a bunch of offices that are essentially art history. That actually explains a lot, because the entirety of DMC is just made of classrooms, and I'm wondering if other halls and other places are all just classrooms, but of course there's also the staff rooms, and maybe 30% of the campus are also made up of staff rooms. I don't know, but there's so many rooms and so many buildings in this freaking campus. I want to explore all of them. Anyways, I digress. So I walked around for a while and I was a little, you know, not lost, but like I was thinking if I went to the right floor or not. But eventually I saw the Korean TA. She looks way more mature. Without glasses and with like hair sort of bundled up, she looks way more mature. And she gave back my final exam, so I have it finally after all these months of emailing her. And she's like, how have you been? And I'm like, oh, it's fine, new semester, I'm minoring in religion. She's the one person who I can say I'm minoring in religion and it wouldn't feel insane. Like, when I talk to film people and tell them I minor in religion, it's like, bro, you're a psycho. When I tell her, it's like, okay, it makes sense. And we talked a little bit. She recommended 2 professors, or she told me that there are 2 professors who teach Buddhism, and maybe one of them will open a Buddhism class soon, which is great, because I really need that class. Like, that's going to be the most epic class of my entire college life. Like, I'm super interested. So that's that. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry if I've been annoying. And she's like, oh, it's fine. I've been busy. It's my fault. And I'm like, no, it's not your fault. Everyone's busy. And she's like, oh, I'm actually really touched because most students never come back because they never care about the final exam. So I feel very touched. And I'm like, oh. And she's like, oh, of course you're not the only one who came back and picked up the final exam. Because, like, it's my words. I spent time and effort on writing this. I can't just throw this away, you know. Because if I don't keep it, then they'll throw it away. So she's like, oh, well, email me, let me know. And also the Hong Konger professor who taught us art history, she's opening a class next semester completely dedicated to the Silk Road, which is pretty interesting. It's just like the second section of the art history class that I took expanded to a full class, which is interesting, but unfortunately my schedule is already completely booked. Like, I already have like a lot of other classes planned out, so I definitely can't do that. But you know, I was like, oh, I'll check on it. And she's like, okay. So that was good. And then I went to, I rested a little bit at SCA. And then I went to the Village, USC Village Amazon, because my package is delivered. And oh my god, it's so convenient. So convenient. I don't ever have to be scared of my packages being stolen anymore. I just sent it to Amazon, and I received an email giving me a code. I scanned the code and boom, except the code didn't work. The barcode didn't work, but there's a worker there who immediately found me my package. It was a big cardboard box, and I'm like, okay, fine. So I carried that box for the rest of the day. And then I waited at the Village. I waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. Until 1:10-ish, I called Tova. I was like, hey, where are you? And turns out Tova's still walking over here. So I'm like, fine. So the thing is, we already, like, I have a class later today, and I need to leave at around 4:30 and go home and have lunch here. Not only that, but we're late. You're late. And you already didn't meet me last week. We're running out of time. So I wasn't too happy. So eventually I met Tova. We entered the school, went to SCA 3rd floor, same old place. And we took out our laptops and we started editing. I told her, hey, if you want to speed up this process, why don't you come again this Thursday? And she's like, I can't. Actually, today is the last time we can meet. I'm like, what? So she leaves next Friday. And that's crazy because the last time we met, it was late August. And since I thought she still has 4 weeks before she leaves, so I thought, oh, maybe we can meet 4 more times. And for sure, we can finish the edit, the rough draft, by the end, for sure. And turns out we can only meet 1 more time, and that one time is like 3 hours long. Which is unfortunate, but maybe it's for the better, because editing over Discord is not, while it's not as convenient as being able to edit the doc with Tova herself in person, but it's also more convenient in terms of I don't need to bring my laptop and my plug and my laptop chargers and my USB-C cable and hard drive and international plug to school every single fucking time because it's so annoying. So maybe it's a good thing. But yeah, it's kind of sad. So we edited, and Tova bought me iced mocha latte because I wanted to drink something because I was so thirsty. And we edited, and oh my god, we had almost 0 progress. Like, we already immediately started off, but the montage that we're dealing with spans from August 2023 to mid-May. And as it turns out, montages are really difficult to edit. Did I just see a cockroach, or is my eyes fooling me? Okay, there is a cockroach here. It's hiding somewhere. It'll come out soon. Okay. Because I did see a cockroach last night. Or last night? I forgot. No, last night. And then I killed another baby cockroach earlier. There's another one that escaped. Anyways. At least it's not as bad as the last place. So we edited, and Tova's still chit-chatting, and I'm like, we don't have enough time. And we have a lot of creative differences. Again, it's a lot of clashing creative differences. Earlier today, or like earlier this week, I actually thought to myself, what if I'm being too dominant in this editing process? Because right now, most of the documentary is similar to how I envision it. So I let her do more creative decisions today. Especially the title drop of the documentary. I like doing my classic wipe up, but it doesn't look good. A, it doesn't look good, the wipe up. B, I'm okay. If there's a project that is not necessarily under my name, like, sure, my feature films and my short films under Enoch Lai, they have to do the wipe up. But this is like different. This is a special case. And the wipe up doesn't look good. So I let Tova decide. And Tova really wanted to fade out. Tova didn't like the music. She wants the fade out to be longer or fade in. And so it was her mostly. And then for the montage, she wanted to use jazz music. And I was like, no, we cannot. And then she wanted 2 separate montages. One for the drills and one for location scouts. I really don't want that. I wanted 1 montage and we're done. I don't need 2 montages back to back. It's not going to feel good. 1 montage, clean cut, and then we move on. So we clearly have different styles. She wants the self-introductions. I don't really need it, but I don't mind having it in the documentary. Unless it ruins the time. Anyways, at around 4:30 we left, and I brought a Hong Kong souvenir for her, and I forgot to give it to her. So I guess I'll give it to her next winter. So yeah, I guess the rest of the documentary is going to be I'm going to, we're going to edit over Discord. And now our new goal is that we'll finish it by the end of the year, which is fine, because like Ends and Means won't even premiere until way later next year. So it's fine. We have time. So I returned home and I made myself lunch very quickly. I wanted to make onion omelet, but my white onion is rotting. What the fuck? So instead I made a salami mozzarella cheese omelet plus 6 dumplings and called it lunch. And then I went to class, and the second half of the day felt much better. So we watched Millennium Actress, which is, holy shit, such a great film. What? Not surprised, but yeah, it's great. I wanted to speak up, but nobody's speaking up. Like, almost nobody's speaking up. After the first break, some white guy with curly hair suddenly sat next to me, and he was like, hey, do you mind if I sit next to you? And I'm like, I don't mind at all, no. So we had a little conversation. Like, there's so many seats in this theater. Why this seat? I didn't ask him that. He's like, oh, so what major are you? And I'm like, Cams. He's production, and he's a freshman, so he's brand new. He knows nothing about film. And oh boy, I feel like a freaking veteran beside him. So, he asked me if I've seen other Satoshi Kon films, and I'm like, yeah, I've seen 2. And he's like, which 2? And I'm like, oh, Perfect Blue and Paprika. And he's like, no way. And I'm like, yeah, well, to be fair, this is his 2 most popular films. And then we talked, and his ultimate goal is to be writer-director, etc., etc. I talked to him a little bit more about, like, other CAMS classes, Hitchcock, Ozu, and Powell and Pressburger, because we have to watch their films for my 200 class, and he's like, I don't know anyone else aside from Hitchcock, and I'm like, yeah. You know, and I explain, Ozu is this legendary Japanese director. And yeah, we watched Millennium Actress together, it's great. And North is here. So it's actually really interesting, because APCA's general meeting starts at 8:30. And I thought North is just going to leave halfway through this class and go to SCA to work for APCA. She didn't. She stayed throughout the entire film. So right after the screening, I walked to SCA, and on my way, I texted Justin T. So Justin T went to the general meeting, and he's like, oh, it's already over, it's done. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know it's gonna be done this fast. So at around 9:40, our screening ended, and yeah, I thought, okay, if the APCA meeting is 2 hours long, maybe we still have some time. But no. So I went to SCA. I thought of just leaving and taking a lift, but I'm like, you know what, out of curiosity, who cares? No one's gonna stop me. I'm gonna go to SCA and take a peek and see if they're still there. So I walked back to SCA, and then I ran into North. So North and I went from Norris to SCA, but we took different routes, but we reunited again. And I told North, oh, they're done. And she's like, really? She's in the e-board and she doesn't even know. And then we're both like, okay, never mind. We'll still check it out and see if they're still really there. So we went into SCA, and North told me very quietly, she's like, oh, by the way, I'm not very happy with this administration. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting, okay. So North asked me, so we went to the room where they're supposed to hold the general meeting, Nobody. Complete darkness. Holy shit. They're all gone. Holy shit. So I and North, we left and we walked to the village and we talked more. North asked me how my in-summer experience was, and I was like, oh, it's fine. I mean, the people are nice, you know. And North was like, oh, I think it's not good. And I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe it's because I'm very below the line. I'm just an art PA, I'm just set dresser, so I don't really interact with anyone else. Also, I only went to that set, like principal photography, for like 7 hours. Apparently Jing Chen also complained a lot. He complained a lot about just the producers making the schedule very messy, not telling him enough information, etc., etc. And North was like, yeah, the new APCA seems to be a mess. And I'm like, wow, okay. Second semester, and I was thinking of doing more APCA stuff this semester, but North already came out here and said, nah, it sucks. We'll see. Maybe APCA isn't that big after all. Who knows? But, yeah. Yeah, maybe it's a good thing I didn't join the e-board. Maybe now I have another chance at joining the e-board for HKSA, which is tomorrow night, so holy shit. So I took a free lift home, here I am. Yeah, so tomorrow, thank God, the TV class is canceled, so I can wake up a little late tomorrow, and I can have lunch tomorrow before I go to religion class, which is great. After the religion class, I can chill for 1.5 hours, and then I'll go to my discussion section for my TV class, and then it'll be the HKSA general meeting, alright? So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it's good tomorrow. Hopefully I do meet some good people tomorrow. We'll see. We'll definitely see. Also, no response from American Language Institute, even though I replied to them. So in order to secure my job, tomorrow I'm going to meet them in person. I'm going to find their address, and I'm going to go to that office in person and tell them, hey, I accept the job offer. So, yeah. So tomorrow I'm going to have like 1.5 hours to kill. I'm just going to do that. And yeah, overall, I'm feeling okay. You know, I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling fine. I'm so happy this heat wave is over, and I need my crispy voice back. This is not it. Yeah, not much else.